You know what's more dangerous than making the wrong decision? Not making any decision at all. Most people aren't stuck because they don't have options. They're paralyzed by fear. Fear of choosing and regretting it. Fear of taking responsibility for a path. Fear of losing something by giving up everything else. And that's exactly where the illusion of safety is born. The lie that as long as you don't decide, you're protected. That while you think it through, life will wait. That while you analyze, compare, procrastinate, consequences will hold still. But they don't. Life doesn't pause just because you froze. The world keeps spinning. Opportunities pass. People move on. Doors close. And you stay. Stuck in the same place, drowning in a sea of what-ifs, paralyzed by your fear of making the wrong choice, without realizing that the real mistake is already happening. You're not living. You're not being cautious. You're being a coward. And before that word triggers you, breathe. Look at your life honestly. How many things have you already lost because you were waiting to be sure? How many times have you backed out because you didn't feel ready? And the worst part, how many times have you lied to yourself saying, now's not the right time, when deep down, you were just scared of getting hurt? Indecision is a hole. It starts small, a doubt, a discomfort. Maybe I should wait a little longer. But it grows fast. And before you know it, it's swallowed your days, your desires, your dreams, trapping you in a prison with no bars, no walls, just endless questions. And the more you think, the less you act. The more you analyze, the less you move. The more you wait, the more life slips through your fingers. And you know what hurts the most? You think you're being smart, that you're buying time, that you're avoiding pain. But in reality, you're just building a version of yourself that goes nowhere. Someone who watches, dreams, plans, but never executes. Someone who trades the risk of pain for the certainty of regret. Someone stuck between wanting to change and being terrified to take the first step. That's the space where your soul starts to die. Because we weren't built to live on the fence. We were built to mess up, to try, to fall, to rise again, to choose with a tight chest, a racing heart, trembling hands, and still choose anyway. If you wait for certainty to act, you'll die standing still. You want to change careers, but you don't know exactly what you want. You want to leave a relationship, but you don't want to hurt the other person. You want to start a new project, but you're not sure it'll work out. So you wait. You wait for a sign. You wait for the right moment. You wait to feel more clarity, more money, more courage. But that moment never comes. Because courage doesn't show up before the decision. It's born after. It's a child of commitment, not of certainty. And here's the brutal truth. If you don't decide, someone else will. Your boss will decide, your partner will decide, time will decide, and you'll end up living a life you didn't choose, just because you were too afraid to make a choice. Look around. How many people do you know who are living on autopilot, in a lukewarm relationship, in a job they can't stand, in a routine that's slowly suffocating them? All because they once lacked the courage to make a hard decision. They didn't make a conscious choice, they just didn't choose. And that by itself was already a decision. One of the most dangerous decisions a person can make, because indecision is a form of death. Silent, slow, painless at first, but corrosive from the inside out. It kills your confidence. It kills your initiative. It kills your desire. It kills your identity. You start forgetting what you wanted. Then you forget how to choose. And one day, you wake up staring at yourself in the mirror with no idea who you are anymore. And it all started with that innocent little thought. Maybe I'll wait just a little longer. And when you finally realize what's happening, it might already be too late. Because life isn't infinite. Windows don't stay open forever. Connections fade. Doors close. And what feels like a temporary doubt today will become a permanent regret tomorrow. You'll look back and see that time did what you were too afraid to do. it moved on. And you? You stayed frozen in the same spot, with a pocket full of regrets and stories you never lived. You know that trip you always wanted to take? That conversation you kept putting off? That course you always said you'd start? That life change you knew you needed? All of it was one decision away, and you chose to wait. But waiting is a decision. It always has been. Even when you say, "I haven't decided yet," your inaction is already shaping your future. And the most tragic part? You'll only realize that when it's too late to choose. When someone else already made the call for you. When life shows you, in cold, brutal silence, what happens when you don't stand up and decide. Because life doesn't wait. It doesn't slow down for the hesitant. It doesn't care about your fears. It just keeps going. And if you're not ready to move with it, you're going to get run over. One day, you'll wake up and realize you lost the love of your life because you were too afraid to open up. That you spent years in a mediocre job because you thought stability mattered more than purpose. That your dreams died inside you because you were waiting to feel ready. And the only thing you'll be able to think is, why didn't I act when I still had the chance? And there's another trap. One of the sneakiest of all. Indecision doesn't always look like indecision. Sometimes it shows up wearing a disguise. It looks like you've made a decision. You tell yourself you've decided. You've decided to change your life. You've decided to leave that relationship. You've decided to stop putting off your dreams. You say it with conviction. Maybe even write it down. Maybe even tell someone. And you swear you're serious this time. But the days pass, and nothing changes. You stay in the same place. You keep acting like nothing's different. You keep living like you didn't decide anything at all. Because deep down, in a layer of your mind you rarely access, you didn't decide. Your conscious mind says yes, but your unconscious mind still says no. And here's the truth. What controls your life isn't what you say. It's what you believe, deep down. It's what you feel when your head hits the pillow at night. It's how your body reacts when you think about taking action. You can say 1,000 times that you're going to do something. But if your unconscious mind is still stuck in fear, scarcity, past trauma, or the need for approval, your body won't move. You won't act. Not because you don't want to, but because something inside you is still frozen. And that's devastating. Because on the outside, you look like someone who made a decision. You're proud of having made up your mind. But inside, you're still at war. Your body's locked up. Your behavior doesn't change. Your energy is the same. And without realizing it, you're back at square one. Only now it's worse. Because now, in addition to being indecisive, you're frustrated. You feel like a fraud. You wonder why nothing's happening, even though you decided, and you start doubting yourself. But here's the truth. Your unconscious doesn't respond to words. It responds to experiences, to emotion, to repetition. And if your entire life story was built on fear, doubt, punishment, and failure, you're going to need more than a motivational quote in the mirror to break that cycle. You'll have to show your body that it's safe to take action. You'll have to prove over and over again with small wins that you're not going to die if things go wrong, that you can choose, even if you're scared, that you can feel the panic, and still keep moving. Until then, you'll stay stuck in limbo, saying you've decided, but not living that decision, promising change, but repeating the same patterns, sabotaging yourself without even realizing it. And maybe that's the cruelest version of hell, thinking you've escaped indecision, when in fact, you've just fallen deeper into it. Because now, you don't see yourself as stuck. You see yourself as in progress, as someone on the journey, as someone who already decided. And that illusion keeps you exactly where you were before, only now with a heavier dose of frustration and confusion. It takes real courage to look in the mirror and admit, I haven't truly made this decision. I'm still afraid. I haven't taken action. I've been hiding behind my own story. But here's the good news. Healing starts right there. The moment you stop pretending you've decided and start building the decision for real. With small steps, with discomfort, with movement, with commitment. That's when your unconscious starts to shift. That's when your body begins to move. That's when the decision starts living inside of you. So if you've been waiting for a sign to finally choose, this is it. This is the moment. This is the wake-up call you've been pretending you didn't need. Don't wait for life to choose for you. Don't wait for pain to shove you forward. Choose. Now, even if you're scared, even if you don't know what comes next, even if your hands are shaking, because at the end of the day, the only thing worse than making the wrong decision is spending your whole life never making one at all. Mental rebellion. This isn't motivation. This is war.